Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we know he used so much energy to emphasize what is not devotional service, what is not spiritual life, what is not the advice of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh, some electrical problems here. However, and he wrote a list of 100 principal points against Sahajyaism. And previously, Madhvacharya, he'd given 100 points against Mayavad. He was a very strong Madhvacharya, not Madhvacharya, Madhvacharya. He was very strong preacher against Mayavad, impersonal, as we know, given by Shankaracharya and many places, and which is very prominent in the world now too. So he gave 100 principal points against Mayavad, impersonal conception. But in a similar way, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did give 100 points against Sahajyaism, imitationism. And it is a little bit shocking in a way that many of the leaders from ISKCON went to, as we say, NM, the Narayan Maharaj's group. He was a disciple of Keshava Maharaj, who was in good standing. But Keshava Maharaj was a sannyas disciple of Guru Maharaj. But this N, we can say, because we don't like to repeat his name all the while, he kind of attracted many of the senior devotees in ISKCON, because he was trying to show, oh, Srila Prabhupada has given you this, but now you are feeling stagnant in your spiritual life, and here is the next step, sort of thing. And he was giving, we are told, initiation into Siddha Pranali and various things which are basically not done, you can say, for 99.999% of devotees who are not qualified to receive those things, and not done by anybody who's not qualified to give such things, these very high conceptions. So for all of us, we are junior compared with so many who came and had that association of Srila Prabhupada for those years, and who's made the foundation of Krishna consciousness through these devotees. But they kind of reached a stagnation point or something, just not getting the taste that they were hoping for. And then they were attracted by something cheap, which is imitation. Imitation means getting something made of plastic, which is meant to be a yellow bird or yellow budgerigar, something like this. It's a living thing. It goes tweet, tweet, tweet. It's got life. But then instead of that, go to the shop to find a very colorful plastic one, which got a battery inside. It goes tweet, tweet, tweet. So something like this. Imitation is like a big enemy that Srila Saraswati Thakur confronted. He confronted the impersonal philosophy, but he confronted the imitationists. So I had hoped to cover some of those points, but still, from Srila Guru Maharaj's words, we can cover some part of this, because this verse, Adau Shradha Tata Sadhu Sango Ta Bhajana Kriya, this is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, not sure. It's given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Madhya Leela. And if I do a little double click here, in the Madhya Leela, then there is a description, chapter 23, of the stages of devotional practice, what the result of devotional service. And this chapter in Madhya Leela is actually called, in Srila Prabhupada's edition, he's given a title, Life's Ultimate Goal, Love of Godhead. And I can read you I read a little bit from this chapter, because here Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is going to quote this verse, Adho Shraddha, which is giving us the stages of progress in devotional life and guarding against imitation. So, first of all, the first text of every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita is a very important text, so much so that Srila Gurudev, he had the first text of each chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita literally carved in marble. They're on the wall inside the Krishnadas Kaviraj Memorial Building in Vrindavan, which means it's the Nat Mandir right at the temple that Krishnadas Kaviraj established of Sri Vrindavan Chandra, the deity which is now on the left side in the Radha Damodar temple. So the first text, very important. Chirad at, I'll just read the Sanskrit here. Chirad adatang nija gupta vitang swaprema namamritam achyudaraha apamarang yo vitarara gauraha Krishno jane bhyasatam ahang prapadye. And the translation of this first verse is, the most munificent Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Gaura Krishna, distributed to everyone, even the lowest of men, his own confidential treasury in the form of the nectar of love of himself and the holy name. This was never given to the people at any time before. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So, again, reminders of where we are in the history line, if you like, of the world. Never given by anybody before, and here the Supreme Lord, Krishna himself, is distributing. Okay, Jaya Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing to Sanatana Goswami, and he says to Sanatana, now hear, O Sanatana, about the result of devotional service, which is love of God, life's ultimate goal. If one hears this description, he will be enlightened in the transcendental rasas of devotional service. And it is translated as mellows, but as we hear repeatedly, mellows is kind of a very strange word, but there is no real English word to cover rasa. Now we've got a little feedback from somewhere. Maybe Praneshri did it. Can you just silence your microphone in the middle time? Thank you. No problem, just to stop the feedback. Okay, so I'm just reading this. It's only a few verses. Mahaprabhu is saying to Sanatan, when affection for Krishna becomes deeper, did I miss out a verse? What happened? Look at that. My faithful application crashed. It doesn't often happen on, it does not often happen these days with a computer, but still programs do crash. Okay, I can't read you the verse now. I can't read you that verse now because my Veda base has crashed. Oh dear. So what I'll do is I will come to what Srila Guru Maharaj is saying about this, which is the verse about the steps of devotional service. Oh, but I need to find it. Oh dear.
And pass it to you?
It's the Madhya Leela. I think I need to go to the Veda base online. It's the Madhya Leela chapter number 13. Vedabase.io. Oh dear. Madhya Lila chapter, Madhya Lila chapter 2. Can you hear the bell behind me? It's the Buddhist bell for their meditation. It's 5:20 in the morning here.
Maharaj, can you tell me which chapter?
Oh, it's not chapter 13. I thought it was chapter 13. Where Mahaprabhu is instructing to Rupa Goswami. Hare Krishna. Oh, please excuse, dear devotees. Man proposes, God disposes. And things happen. It's the verse, if you search in the Veda base, it's the verse Ado Shraddha. Now I lost it here too. Ado Shraddha tata sadhu sango ta bhajana kriya. I thought it was in verse 13 of the Madhya Lila, but I may be wrong.
So 13 says the ecstatic dance of the Lord in Vratarayatra. So Amrita Parva Vasya.
Okay, I'm getting it. Oh, it's chapter 23. Okay, I have it now. I think I have it now. Yes, it's chapter 23. Please excuse me. I'm going to. So Mahaprabhu is basically, he's speaking in Bengali. Now hear from me about the result of devotional service. Okay, I'm back to where I was reading. So please hear or read and hear if you like. The important thing is to understand. So Mahaprabhu is saying to Sanatana Goswami, now hear about the result of devotional service. Okay, when affection for Krishna becomes deeper, one attains love of Godhead in devotional service. Such a position is called sthai bhava, permanent enjoyment of the rasas, the mellows of devotional service to Krishna. Then Mahaprabhu is quoting, then he's giving Bengali. Bhava, emotion, has two different symptoms, constitutional and marginal. Okay. Now, my dear Sanatan, listen to the symptoms of love. So we're just going to come to this because just quickly we're coming to our part. Okay, I'll just read it because it's wonderful. When that bhava softens the heart completely, becomes endowed with a great feeling of possessiveness in relation to the Lord, and becomes very much condensed and intensified, it is called prema, love of God, by learned scholars. And then giving a quote, but I'm saying what he's saying in Bengali. If by good fortune a living entity develops faith in Krishna, he begins to associate with devotees. Now, Mahaprabhu is giving the direction about what are the stages. So if by good fortune a living entity develops faith in Krishna, he begins to associate with devotees. Then, when one is encouraged in devotional service by the association of devotees, one becomes free from all unwanted contamination by following the regulative principles and chanting and hearing. So this is all in Bengali that Mahaprabhu is saying. When one is freed from all unwanted contamination, he advances with firm faith. When firm faith in devotional service awakens, a taste for hearing and chanting also awakens. After taste is awakened, a deep attachment arises, and from that attachment, the seed of love of Krishna grows in the heart. When that ecstatic emotional stage intensifies, it is called love of God. Such love is life's ultimate goal and the reservoir of all pleasure. Then Mahaprabhu quotes, he is quoting this Sanskrit verse, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangota Bhajana Kriya Tato Nata Nivrittisha Tato Nishta Ruchistataha Atha Shaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Vyudanchati Sadha Kanam Ayang Premna Pradurbhave Bhavet Kramaha. So he's giving the authority for this from the scriptures. He's giving the quotation reference. So this verse quoted so many times, you'll hear by Guru Maharaj, by Gurudev, and here by Mahaprabhu himself. So the quote, in the beginning there must be faith. Then one becomes interested in association with pure devotees. Thereafter, one is initiated by the spiritual master and executes the regulative principles under his orders. Thus, one is freed from all unwanted habits and becomes firmly fixed in devotional service. Thereafter, one develops taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service according to the regulative principles. Gradually, emotions intensify, and finally there is an awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee interested in Krishna consciousness. This is a very foundation verse, very foundational verse. And then the next verse is again very important verse. And we hear it again all the time when we hear the classes. So this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Satang prasangam mama virya sangvido bhavanti hrit karma rasayana kataha yaj joshanad ashva parvarga vatmani shraddha rati bhakti anukramishyati. Okay, I know we're not usually quoting so many verses, but it's in front of me, and it is very beautiful to hear these verses from time to time in their Sanskrit. And the meaning of that verse is, so this is a quote from Bhagavatam, the spiritually powerful message of God can be properly discussed only in a society of devotees. And it is greatly pleasing to hear in that association. If one hears from devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens to him, and gradually he attains firm faith that in due course develops into attraction and devotion. All right, so these are some wonderful things, but why it came in my mind was that this imitation part is based on skipping over. It's based on, we're immediately going to tell you, your relationship with Krishna in the highest sphere, you have to imitate, you have to imagine that you are a cowherd boy, cowherd girl, that you are Mother Jashoda, something like this, some imaginary position. So these verses and this part of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing very clearly what is our proper process. So we see from this that, now I've lost the verse again. Okay, I've got it here. So in the beginning, there must be faith. We have to come with faith. This is our price, if you like. Srila Guru Maharaj says that actually, practically for free, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving love of God. He's giving the holy name, which is giving us love of God. But practically for free. But actually, our price we need to pay is we have to come with some faith. This is our bank balance, if you like. Faith. We have to have some genuine faith. So in the beginning, there must be faith. Then one becomes interested in the association of devotees. Then one is initiated by the spiritual master and executes regulative principles under his orders. So there's some faith. Then there's that eagerness to mix with the pure souls, those who are already on the devotional path, ideally the pure devotees. Then we receive the seed. Our heart then, it is fertile to receive the seed of bhakti. We receive initiation. And we cultivate that seed by following the directions of the spiritual master. Thus one is freed from all unwanted habits and becomes firmly fixed in devotional service. That firmly fixed, this is nishtha. And nishtha, maybe we'll have Srila Guru Maharaj's words in a minute or two, but nishtha means like continuous, solid focus on Krishna without anything else. Already our unwanted habits, both of physically doing them and mentally being distracted, all of these leave us. And when these things leave us, then we can be firmly focused in our devotional service. So 24-hour consciousness in our devotional life. Then only one develops actual taste and attachment. Whatever we get before, we're getting a little bit of something, but we cannot say, oh, I've had that spiritual kind of realization, the spiritual enveloped by spiritual consciousness that has been described by the great souls such as Narada Muni and throughout the Vedas. So then Mahaprabhu is saying, giving the quote from here, this is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service according to regulative principles. So we're in the stage where we are practicing, we're engaging in the activities of devotional service. And the point being that before a nishtha, before being in a state of aloofness from the material world and continually absorbed in the upper world, then we will not get, for instance, Krishna Prema, the highest goal. So anything before that nishtha period, we can say we can get some little hints and drops for our encouragement, but we cannot rely on our own feeling until that position of nishtha. Okay, so what I would like to read is from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Guru Maharaj saying, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadho Sangata Bhajana Kriya. This part that he's saying, to progress with faith, keeping the association of devotees and dedicating one's activities to the Lord. This means you must go forward in your life with the spirit that you are willing to even give away this life. And he's saying, do or die is, of course, not in the physical sense, but in the internal sense. Bhajana Kriya. Doing our devotional service, like very fixed. This is self-giving. ego-giving. Saying, tato nata anata nivritti syat, quoting this same verse that we just quoted. Then Guru Maharaj saying, if you can adopt this, then the undesirable things within you will disappear very easily and swiftly. Then Guru Maharaj saying, tato nishta, then you will find a continuous connection with such a principle in your life. Then you will find a continuous connection with such a principle in your life. Really, devotional life is the 100% principle. Okay, Guru Maharaj's words. That principle will always act continuously, and other fleeting, mean desires won't be able to approach or touch you. Next, you will find ruchi, a real taste of divinity. Otherwise, before that continuous stage, whatever taste we may think we have is only treachery and not real taste. Aha. Now Guru Maharaj coming to that point of nishta, the continuous, fixed position. Nishta means nairantarya. When we are established in 24 hours a day, continuous connection with that charming substance, then a real taste will arise, and we can rely on that taste. Any taste that we may find in any other position is unreliable. 24 hours a day connection with divinity, eliminating all other charms of this world, is necessary. Then the ruchi, the conscious taste that arises in us, is a reliable guide. Then after that, asakti, natural affinity arises, and then the symptoms of bhava, the bud stage of the flower of prema, divine love, makes its appearance. This is the way of our progress. So it is good for us to be aware of these things, even though they are, like you can say, far away in one sense, but it is good for us to know the whole basis and science, in a nutshell, of our devotional practicing life. And as here Guru Maharaj points out, as Gurudev points out, that only after nishtha, when like really we are absorbed 24 hours a day, all other things already, they've stopped trying to attack us because we ignore them. That at that stage, then we can get some reliable taste of love of God. And so then the point comes, prema bhakti. Prema bhakti comes after then bhava, the bud of the flower, as we just heard, of the flower of prema bhakti. All these high things that we're hearing about prema, extreme love of God, all these things, they are only coming after nishtha, this continuous process. And then Goswami Maharaj does point out, and he points out very kind of humorously in a way, that, so who's going to put up their hand and say that now, yes, I'm free from all anarthas, all unwanted things, desires, everything have left me, and not only that, I am nishta, 24 hours means 65 seconds of every minute, 65 minutes of every hour, and 25 hours of every day. Then we can think 24 hours. 24 hours that we are engaged in our Krishna consciousness activity. Who is going to put up their hand and say, oh yes, I'm in that position? Very dangerous thing to do if you do want to do that, because Maya is very strong. Anyway, this is the theme, and this is one of the very fundamental points that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is making in his 100 principal points against Sahajiyism, imitationism, that we must understand our position. We must behave according to the class we are in, if you like. Class means like in a school, you get first grade, second grade. According, in America, they say the grade you're in, I think. According to the grade that we are in, we must be there. We can't jump and think, oh, yes, I read a book about being a pilot. You turn the wheel this way, the airplane goes that way, the airplane goes, this is the throttle. Oh, I'm going to fly the airplane. I don't think so. You better go and go through the rest of the classes before we put you behind a jumbo jet full of 400 passengers. You know, so this was what I wanted to express today. But of course, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur makes point after point after point about imitation and real. Imitation and real. And we have come to the lotus feet of these great spiritual masters, Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Maharaj, the founder of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Maharaj, who Srila Prabhupada wanted to be the head of the ISKCON mission. He wanted him to be the president, and everyone will come to hear from him. Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Maharaj, who his Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, gave all of these treasures to and posted him as the guardian of devotion. So this is the seed pedigree which we are connected with. This is the line of devotion that we've come to. And we, yes, being given the highest seed, the highest opportunity, but yes, we're being given all the instructions of how to grow the seed, protect the seed, nourish the seed, etc. So we want something real, not something imitation. And we will therefore stay very carefully only under the shelter of the guardians that Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada have revealed to us. And not to go here and there to try to find other things and think, oh, I can get some extra taste if I go here. Or isn't this amazing what this person has said? We don't want to hear any imitation. We don't want to hear any this. We want to hear only from the correct source. So here we are, trying to keep our life on the straight and narrow. Railway trains, yes? Railway engine and the carriages behind the train. They have to go on the railway line. If you take away the railway line, where's the engine going to go? It's going to go through all the fields. It's going to go racing through the town with no proper direction. Nobody wants that. It causes havoc. So we want to stay on the rails, not off the rails. And even then, with that example, Guru Maharaj makes the example. We do not want to go, oh no, Gurudev Govinda Maharaj makes the example. We don't want to get off the express train and go down some siding or some, on some minor railway line that goes off into the villages somewhere. We want to stay on the express train going to our destination. Hare Krishna. And look, it looks like blue sky behind, but it is monsoon cloud sky. We're in the monsoon season. So unfortunately or not, but here where I'm sitting is actually a really super place for doing this time, the Mangalati programs, etc. Because really, when there are no clouds or just a little cloud, we do see beautiful morning sky. Udila Aruna, this Aruna time, it is really makes us aware of the time. But 24 hours a day, Nishtha. Any question from anybody?
Yes, Maharaj. Can you please mention the book of Srila Guru Maharaj you were reading from after the Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Yes, it's Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion.
Thank you.
But which one? That's a good question. 1 second. Volume 1, page 66.
Thank you.
And by the way, here's Guru Maharaj. Also, Guru Maharaj is saying, this is, okay, here's just something else, very beautiful. Here's Guru Maharaj. Through self-giving, I can acquire my fortune, and not as a master sitting in my chair, gathering information from different quarters to utilize for my selfish plans. I mean, what Guru Maharaj says is so, so strong. It is through self-giving that I can acquire my fortune, not as a master sitting in my chair, gathering information from different quarters to utilize for my selfish plans. Hare Krishna.
And that is also from the same book?
It is, I just saw it.
Okay.
I just saw it. You know, sometimes we singing a song, one of the kirtans, or sometimes we're just looking out of inquisitiveness, or what's that? Or we're hearing a lecture and we just want to hear what was that word or what was that verse, and then we go to look it up, and then suddenly we find an hour has passed by because we've gone to look for that verse, but then, oh, look at this, and we're finding all these beautiful things. And as I repeatedly say, please repeatedly read these beautiful books because they're always fresh. And please repeatedly hear the talks of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. And from where we're getting nourishment in the present generation. Because all of these talks, they're coming to point us to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, to all three. So they're wonderful books. And these Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, so many treasures are inside these books. Anyway, so now I'm looking at things, so I can say, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. So then we suddenly find an hour has passed by finding things. And oh yes, there are some. Yesterday itself, in our evening program, I told you devotees came here yesterday, and we do an evening program and a morning program every day, whether there's one person or whether there's 50, which there aren't ever 50, actually. Oh, sometimes there are 50 on festival days. Yes, probably got 50. But we do morning and evening program. And yesterday evening, incidentally, we found a hidden kirtan. And it's in the, you can say it's a hidden kirtan, but it's in the songbook. I don't know which songbook you're using, but the yellow songbook, which is probably the most distributed around the world. I closed it here. Kirtan Guide. In the yellow songbook, which is the 7th edition, if you go to the website, there is a kirtan. Usually we go to the index to think, okay, what am I going to sing today? So we go to the index. But here, this one, Anya Abhilas Chari, I think. Yeah, Anya Abhilas Chari, Jnana Karma Parihari, Kaya Manne Koribo Bhajana. It's such a nice song by Narottam Das Thakur. But two things. One is it's not in the index. And yesterday we came across it and said, Anya Abhilas, well, how come we're not, it seems like a long time since I've sung this. So number one, it's not in the index. So it kind of came up as a surprise. And then number two, we sang it and then it just ends abruptly. And we think, why it's ended here? And the last 4 verses are missing. And so then yesterday we found the last 4 verses of it. So anyway, so here's a hidden bhajan, and it's so beautiful. It's Narottam Das Thakur giving us direction in our life of what to do and what not to do. I'll read you the first two verses. Worship the Lord with body and mind, giving up the desire for material endeavor and mundane knowledge. Perform service in the association of devotees, and do not worship the various demigods, the devas. These activities are the prime cause of devotional service to Krishna. Okay, then the essence of devotional practice is to carefully consider and follow the path revealed by the great devotees. One should not neglect the practice of remembering the pastimes of the Lord, for devotional service should be performed with the mind as well as the body. Always give up bad association and avoid singing mundane songs. Keep at a distance materialistic people as well as those absorbed with mundane knowledge. Associate only with devotees and merge in the happiness of topics of the loving pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Anyhow, it's 20 verses in all, so a bit long to read for today. But on the theme of how we get distracted when we look for verses and things, then this came up, and again we get good advices. And by the way, Gurudev told that in the songbook, he said everything we need is in the songbook. So, you see, here we are. We're being directed to the songs of Narottam Das Thakur, of Guru Maharaj Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that in these songs, they're so wonderful. They're not just for, singing some songs so we can then have prasadam afterwards. They're for singing them with a happy mood. And we went through one song, I think only, Hare Haraya Nama Krishna earlier, but in your practicing life, make these songs really your joy for the morning and evening.
Maharaj, I see it on the 8th version, the one with the peacock feather. It's in the index, but also the last four are missing.
I also saw that. The last 4 verses are missing. So that needs to be added to any new edition. And there is a 9th version of the songbook, which is different. And I think it's not there. I have it. I'll check and see. But anyway, the 10th version must be there. Anyway, we've been talking about, in a way, high things, but actually the foundation understanding that to help us not get misled or start to think that we can discuss and read these topics of Prema Bhakti and Ujjvala Nilamani and this kind of books, which are for the liberated souls. So first we need faith. Then we need association, then initiation, then cultivating our Bhakti Lata Bija, our devotional seed of devotion by properly following the guidance of our masters. Then, when one is free from all unwanted habits, one becomes firmly fixed in devotional service. Then one develops proper taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti. Then after that comes the awakening of actual love of God. So we are on a long journey, a long happy journey.
With wonderful guidance.
With wonderful guidance, yes, we have wonderful guidance. We have to be aware the solid guidance is there, clear for all to see, and also the guidance of how not to be misguided is actually there for all to see. And we should not play with fire. We start to think, oh, what is, and some places also you see about the Mayavad, saying about, Mahaprabhu says, don't read Shankaracharya's commentary. But then we see we have devotees, they think, oh, I'm quite, yes, now I've been in the mission however many years, I can read his commentary and then I'll understand what it is that the Mayavadas are talking about. And then what happens? Oh dear, read Sankaracharya, start to study what he's thinking, and then caught by the fire. Not to put your finger in the fire or you'll get pulled into the fire. Not to put your toe into the current, the strong out-carrying current. You'll be taken by the ocean. Mahaprabhu's told you'll be taken by the ocean. Hare Krishna. Prafulla, Prabhu, what news from you? Any question? Are you the map reader? You're giving the guidance where to go.
Yes, Maharaj. We're on the road, so we need to follow the GPS. And we are also following the spiritual GPS yourself, Maharaj. So trying to always listening to your words and Goswami Maharaj, Avadut Maharaj. Very nice, Maharaj. Very interesting topic. You were today.
It's kind of a necessary topic, yeah.
Yes. Yes,
and
Maharaj.
Where are you driving to?
Well, my license is expired, so I don't want to get in trouble. We're driving to a forest area, a camping site.
Okay.
But we have Mrindanga here, so. Yeah.
So Prafulla, here is a forest area and a camping site right here, right behind. They've got the camping.
Okay. So we're gonna be connected.
Keep on driving.
Yes. Yes, Maharaj. Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad. Anybody, any question? Oh, Govinda Nandini is here in the background. Govinda Nandini Didi, welcome. And our best wishes always with you.
Dandavad, querido Maharaj. It's Madhavi from Colombia.
Yes, Madhavi, Didi, please. Some contribution, some encouragement for us. So good to see you, Madhavi, Didi. So good to see you. Is everything going on?
Happy, Maharaj. Happy to see
everything
you.
Okay, Colombia?
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay. Remembering Krishna. You see, Colombia, I've not been there, but a very beautiful part of the world.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
So where you are.
It's beautiful where she is, yes. Where Madhavi is must be a beautiful place. Wherever the devotees are, must be a beautiful place. Hare Krishna. And Abhinavasundar Prabhu has been very quiet today. Maybe he's at work. And Rupanuga Prabhu joined us last time, and he was up in the north of Australia on a...
Yes, Maharaj. And today he's not here because he is on a boat in the ocean off the coast of wherever he was, way up north.
Remembering Krishna.
Remembering Krishna in the form of a whale. He's looking for the Timingaladhara.
All right.
And now, while he's away, we're completely renovating the office here, putting walls in everywhere. And
okay, does he know?
Something. Hopefully, he'll get a pleasant surprise when he comes back.
Okay, I'm sure he will. He entrusts it all to you. Okay, so please take care, everybody. This is our theme of the day. I hope I was able to communicate it in some way, but an important thing for us. And again, we have to stay with our feet firmly in the right direction. Wonderful things are waiting for us, and let us continue happily together, chant Hare Krishna without offense, with devotional mood and devotional activity. Offer our prasadam offer our food to Krishna. Whatever we're going to eat, offer to a picture of Krishna. If you have Giriraj, you can offer to Giriraj. His worship is very informal. We offer. So when you're going camping in Mexico, before you take your prasad, pick up your little phone, bring up a picture, offer to Gurudev. He'll be happy and he'll be with you.
Yes, Maharaj. We'll do that.
All right. So have successful savor 24 hours is until we meet again. And all glories, Jai Srila Bhakti, wonderful Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, wonderful Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Vishwaranya, worshipable by the whole universe, by the whole world we can consider. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, and Jai Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, all our wonderful predecessor acharyas, in whose feet we are following behind ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, and all the present day acharya Vrinda who are encouraging us, nourishing us in that direction. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. And to all the devotees, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Nitai Gaur
Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Dandavat, Dandavat, one and all.
Dhanyavad.
Hari Hari.